Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, 1 killed, 8 injured during shooting at wake for entertainer Christopher Martin's grandmother. A brutal attack at a wake in Culture Hill, St. Catherine early Wednesday morning has left 1 man dead and 8 others injured. The wake was being held in honor of the late grandmother of entertainer Christopher Martin when 2 gunmen struck. The incident occurred around 12:40 a.m. as the gunmen walked down a dirt road towards the house where several people were gathered. Without warning, they opened fire indiscriminately, sending mourners scrambling for cover. Among the victims was a 34-year-old O'Neill Spencer of Point Hill, who initially escaped the first round of gunfire. Unfortunately, as he attempts to leave his hiding spot and make his way home, he was ambushed and fatally shot. Spencer was pronounced dead at the hospital. 8 other attendees were injured in the attack, with 2 reported to be in critical condition. 1 person was treated and released. The St. Catherine North Police are investigating the incident but have not yet determined a motive for the shooting. The community remains on edge as authorities work to apprehend those responsible for the killing. Christopher Martin has since commented on the incident in a post on his Instagram account condemning the heinous act. "My heart is heavy this morning as I reflect on the tragic events that occurred last night at my beloved grandmother's wake. She was a woman of deep faith and endless sacrifice, someone who taught me the true meaning of love and a community. It's devastating to see violence cast a shadow over what should have been a moment of peace and remembrance," Martin wrote. "I condemn all forms of violence and extend my deepest sympathies to the families affected by this senseless act. I pray for those involved to come forward and for our community to support the authorities in bringing justice. Jamaica, we must do better. Life is too precious to be consumed by violence. Let's choose peace," he added. Man gunned down in Red Hills, St. Andrew. The St. Andrew North Police are investigating the murder of a man along Blue Mountain Road in Red Hills on Tuesday. The deceased has been identified as 26-year-old welder Marlon Newsome of a Blue Mountain Road address. It is reported that about 7 a.m., residents heard explosions and summoned the police. Upon arrival, the police discovered Newsome along the roadway line in blood. The Constant Spring Criminal Investigation Branch is probing Newsome's death. Man shot dead, 2 others injured in Flanker. The St. James Police are investigating a matter where 3 men were shot, 1 fatally in Flanker Wednesday morning. Preliminary reports are that about 8:25 a.m., the 3 men were set upon by unknown assailants who opened fire on them on Churchill Crescent in the community. When the shooting subsided, the 3 men were found with gunshot wounds. 1 man has since died and the other 2 taken to hospital with injuries. The identity of the dead man has not yet been ascertained. TikToker Wakidon charged with murder. 19-year-old TikTok content creator Tevin Gale, otherwise known as Wakidon, of Cook Street, Savannah Lamar in Westmoreland, has been charged with murder. He is charged in relation to the stabbing death of 18-year-old Devontae Hutchinson, otherwise known as Bolt, on August 16. Reports are that at about 11:30 p.m., Hutchinson and Gale were having a physical altercation arising from an earlier incident with one of Hutchinson's relatives, during which Gale ran away to escape injury. However, Gale later returned to attack Hutchinson, during which he inflicted a stab wound to Hutchinson's left side, right arm and right lower back before escaping on foot. The police were called to the scene after residents saw Gale running from the scene. Hutchinson was assisted to the hospital where he was pronounced dead while undergoing treatment. On Saturday, Gale turned himself into the police in the presence of his attorney. He was subsequently charged on Tuesday after a question and answer session. 2 men charged over Cherry Tree Lane massacre remanded. The 2 men charged for the recent massacre in Cherry Tree Lane, Clarendon, which left 8 persons dead, were today remanded when they made their first appearance in the Gun Court Division of the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court. Duchesne Smallin, 28, otherwise called the Snowman, of North Street in Maypen, and Leighton White, 32, otherwise called the Bands, of Havana Heights, are each charged with 8 counts of murder, 8 counts of shooting with intent, 8 counts of wounding with the use of a firearm, possession of prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition. When the men appeared in court today, an application for the matter to be transferred to the Home Circuit Court was made. The men are scheduled to appear in the High Court on September 16. They are charged for the August 11 deaths of 7-year-old Aiden Bartley, Roger Messam, 48, Margaret Bonner, 40, Cavell Daly, 26, Diamond Bennett, a 20-year-old cashier, Errol Stewart, a butcher, 68, also known as a Wagga, Jermaine Booth, 33, also known as Blacks, and the 50-year-old Lawrence Francis. It was reported that on the day in question, about 8:45 p.m., the two accused men, along with the deceased Steve Smith and other men, who were all armed with handguns, drove to the community where a birthday party was being held and fired at a group of persons. The shooting left 8 persons dead and 9 injured, including a 1-year-old infant. Following the shooting, the 3 men reportedly left the scene in the motor car in which they had arrived. Smallin was arrested after turning himself in, while White was arrested while he was reporting as part of his bail condition. Attorney at law Kemar Robinson is representing Smallin, while Dwight Reese is defending White. Family of missing 4-year-old Westmoreland boy appeals for his safe return. The family of 4-year-old Shaquille Patterson, who has been missing since Sunday, is appealing for the public's assistance for his safe return home. Young Shaquille reportedly went missing in Friendship, Westmoreland during a grave digging. Tricia Thomas, the boy's grand aunt, who is his primary caregiver and guardian, told the news that he went missing after asking to go visit family members at their home nearby. Thomas said that he reportedly made it to the premises, and after spending some time there, he indicated that he was heading back to the grave digging. However, she said that was the last time he was seen. A missing person report was subsequently made at the Withorn police station on Sunday night. Don't bar students from classes because of hair or grooming, Williams tells the school administrators. Minister of Education Favour Williams is again urging school administrators not to bar students from attending classes based on their hairstyles or grooming. Williams made the appeal while addressing today's 3rd and final day of the Jamaica Teachers Association's 60th annual conference in Trelawney. While acknowledging that the recurring issue of students grooming will come up for fresh consideration when the new school year begins on September 2, Williams said that the principals must seek to hold a dialogue on the issue with the students and their parents. The issue of locks in schools, of wearing your natural hair, all of those are going to confront us come September 2. We are still insisting that no child should be locked out of school because of issues with dress and grooming, Williams told today's assembly. There ought to be a process in place within our schools for consultation, for talks with the students and their parents. We know that these are difficult situations in our schools, but I have every faith and confidence that together we can tackle those and have a successful school year, Williams added. The matter of students' hairstyles and grooming has been a perpetual concern for school administrators in recent years, resulting in the Ministry of Education drafting a grooming policy for schools prior to the September 2023 school term. That policy came about following a series of consultations in August 2022 on the issue of student dress and grooming in schools. The consultations were held with the aim of developing a policy for educational institutions to balance students' rights while complying with school rules. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.